So here we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pieces of Gold. And my beautiful special guest today is the one and only Ms. Kate Hills.
I love the way you said that.
Okay.
Hello, darling.
I love you. So we've already had a bit of time this morning because we haven't seen each other in quite a while. So we went to Tony's Bistro in Fargo.
Big up, Tony.
Oh, big up, Tony. We had a nice fresh muffin and a cup of tea. You had a lovely...
And do you know what? I couldn't believe he makes his own brand sauce. Lovely.
Who knew? Top guy. Yeah, so we had a lovely little catch up this morning, didn't we? And just to kind of go over how life has been and where we're at. But I invited you, Kate, because one, I adore you.
Thank you, darling.
And I have a lot of respect for you, always. We met...
Ditto.
Thank you. It's just a shame we don't get to see much of each other, but that's just kind of... It's just the way life is, isn't it? Yeah. But the connection's always been there. And when we do see each other, it's like we only saw each other yesterday. So we kind of lift off where we carry on from where we left it, don't we? But we met back 2012, was it?
Yes.
Through Jeff.
Yeah, it
Mutual.
was. Yeah.
On a writing course. And I have to tell you, everyone, Kate is not just a wonderful woman with a big heart, an incredible life story, an inspirational radio DJ, creative, artistic. You do so many things, and this is it. I don't think you kind of see yourself in the light that that you are. But she's been through a lot in life, and she's come through the other end, and she's in this beautiful golden time of her life, as we are. But your writing is exquisite.
Thank you, darling.
And I know when we worked with Jeff, we would, he peeled us open.
It was like bearing your soul.
Yeah.
Weren't it? It was really like bearing your soul. He gets you to dig deep.
Yeah.
But, at times it's needed.
And how was that for you? Because I know I've shared mine a few times, but shall we go, because we're here, what we're going to discuss today, motherhood.
Yeah.
Womanhood.
Yeah.
Survival. And we both know what that's been like. And rebirth.
Yeah, I love the rebirth bit.
Yeah, that is so good. So let's travel back in time.
Okay.
Where shall we go to with Miss Kate? Where would you like to start, my darling?
I think motherhood is always a good place to start.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I always knew I wanted children, even from when I was really little. And thankfully, I was gifted 3 beautiful souls who are like my best friends in a lot of ways. Because now they're grown up, they're adults. But I think as mothers, we don't give ourselves enough credit. And I think looking back, being a mother, and I think back to my own mum and maybe the relationship I had with her, and that can bring up a lot of emotion. I think we can blame our parents for a lot. But one thing I realise is we don't know what they were going through at the time. They could only love us as they themselves had been loved. And I think that's a good thing to take away from it. So, I do think of my own mum. It was quite challenging. I do think, because my mum was put on Valium back when she was 19. She just had me. She found herself in what I would describe as a loveless marriage. My mum and dad speak very different love language. My dad, for him, it was like, as long as I'm going out to work and I'm bringing the money in, that's all that matters. Whereas my mum is very tactile. She needs a lot of affection. She needs those words of love and, gestures of love, which sadly she didn't get from my dad, So, yeah, it's all interesting stuff. And I realised that for my mum, she didn't feel loved. So, and that's what she was always searching for. Hence, that's why she had numerous affairs. I make no judgments there.
Absolutely, and I think that's it's an important thing that you touch upon them, because there are a lot of people, and just from my own experiences, when we are a void of love, we do seek, and usually it's always in the wrong. The places where it's lacking, because there's only one place that we have to go to get that, and that is into into meet ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
So, as a child growing up, you felt all this dynamics in your family home, and then you became a young woman yourself.
Yeah.
And how was that? How did that look for you just before you had children and embarked on relationships and all that side of life? Who was Kate before she became a mum?
There was almost like two sides of me, because there was that side which I call my spiritual connection, always knowing that there was something greater. There was always this encompassing, loving energy. But then the conscious mind and what I'd experienced growing up led me to not have any self-worth, very kind of closed off. And I suppose I took on a role as well, like my mum did, of looking for love. All I wanted to be was loved. So when someone showed me attention, that was the route I took. I'd find myself in a relationship because suddenly someone had showed me attention, And
As they do.
Yeah.
As they do.
Yeah.
However, what were those, what relationships did you embark on? What were the key factors in those relationships that you experienced? We now see them as, our biggest teachers and a mirror in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In ways. What did that look like for you?
I think the kind of volatile relationship, because my mum was very volatile.
Fiery.
Yeah, but she could, I made myself small because you never knew when she was just going to go into a rage.
Could you speak your truth? Could you express your feelings?
No, there was none of that. So I always tried to make myself small. And I suppose that I took into relationship. So I replaced the relationship with my mum in an intimate relationship with somebody that made me feel exactly as my mum did, but it's patterns, isn't it? It's what we know when we go to the familiar. So, yeah.
Exactly. We were speaking about that earlier, and it's an unconscious thing, but it is a very real thing. And for people that are listening and finding themselves in a relationship where it's this person isn't, it's not a loving connection. It's not a real deeper connection, and it's teaching you something that is within you that you just need to kind of sit with and have a look at, and
that can take years.
It can.
Before the penny drops and you think, hang on a minute.
How much pain and suffering do we keep allowing ourselves to feel? How much anger, frustration do we keep looping in? How much blame are we going to keep, and excuses are we going to keep making and accepting and projecting until we kind of realise, actually, these are my choices.
Yeah. One thing I will say though, is I also realised that I stayed in certain relationships. I was very numb, but that was also the medication I was on. I was put on certain medication for depression and anxiety when I was 17, and I remained on and off it. I was never off it for more than a couple of months until I was in my late 30s. So a lot of time that I was numb, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but these medications that they put you on should only be used short term. And I think they realise that now, whereas back then it was very much, you're still getting panic attacks, you're still feeling, we'll put you back on them and we'll up your dose. And that was always what it was like. So that numbness kept me in a place.
Well, it kept you stagnant.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
It freezes you in that time and space, doesn't it? So the years are passing by, the children are growing, life is expanding, and we can't. We can't. And it, we see it happening with so many people. However, please carry on.
I think the big turning factor came because I'd had 3 major relationships, and then I met a lovely lady who was my Reiki master, and she was just the sort of person that I needed at the time. There was no airy-fairy nonsense with her, It was very much F this and F that. And she was just very...
She got your attention.
She was very real. Let me just put it that way.
That.
Very real. And yeah, like I say, just what I needed. And it was through becoming attuned to Reiki myself that suddenly it was like, I'm thinking about coming off my medication, looking at ways of doing things differently. And I think that was a big thing for me. And she helped me enormously. But one of the funny thing is when you start opening yourself up, the pathway becomes clear.
That it
does. And, Anne, my Reiki master, had said, have you thought about coming off your medication? I was like, yeah, I have actually. And then I made an appointment at the doctor's, and the first thing the doctor said to me was, well, have you thought about coming off your medication? That had never been said to me before. So it was like, yeah. And that was, I've never been on any medication since then.
Well, it was the time.
Yeah.
The thawing out, I've described it as the thawing. And that in itself is an experience, isn't it? Because, everything that has been frozen and locked away is unlocking and thawing out. So how did you navigate through all that? Or was it a continuation as you were embarking on your coming back to your spiritually natural path that was always with you from a young age, and your evolution of coming back to life?
I'm smiling, right, Sarah, because I just think of my Reiki master. Like I say, she was very real. And some of the things she would say to me, I'm like, that's not right. Because she'd say to me, you chose this life. And I'd be like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Of course, it makes perfect sense to me now. And I totally get it.
Upon hindsight, but at the time, it was like, I totally, that resonates, Kate, so much, because it was like when Jeff said to me, Sarah, one day you will give thanks for everything that you went through and your darkness and all this pain. And I was like,
yeah.
Are you fucking mad? My pain, it was too deep.
Yeah.
It was too, there was still a lot of cleaning out and things to navigate.
Yeah.
And things were thawing. But yeah, you definitely get there.
Yeah.
Which is where you're at now. But yeah, please carry on. I like the sound of Anne.
Oh my God.
Is she still here?
No. Oh. No, sadly. Well, she is.
Well, she is. Anne!
Yeah, she is, because
through.
I feel her so much. But yeah, I remember her saying to me, you need to take responsibility. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean take responsibility?
Do you not know what I've been through? I've had these horrendous relationships. These men have done this, this, and this. My mum was like that. My dad was like this. My life has been like this. And then she said,
And then she said, in anything in life, you have to take responsibility for the part that you've played in it. And obviously, at the time, that was like,
how dare you?
you know, I don't know what you're talking about. But
What do you mean? I'm perfect.
But then, you know, it kind of thinking, or should I say feeling, and I'm, you know, not using this, but using what is here and your gut, because our gut is our second brain. You know, using that and your the knowledge from your higher self, you think, hang on a minute. I do have to take responsibility for the part that I played in it.
And choices that we're making.
Was I perfect? No. Did I choose to stay in those relationships? Yes. All right. I did get out when I felt that I could. So I wasn't kind of locked in, you know, but it took a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, very much kind of, okay, I know exactly what she means now.
And it's almost giving you permission to free it. As much as we take, it might sound a little bit like direct and to the point, and maybe, you know, some people are like, oh, it's that is a permission slip. Free yourself.
Yeah.
Because once you do look in the mirror and ask yourself some real, honest questions, and when you are ready to answer them from truth and see your part that you are playing, shackles start falling off.
Definitely.
And that's when you can start freeing yourself from your own bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, because
it's moving from that victim mentality into one of, like you say, total freedom. You recognise the part you've played. That doesn't mean that you're condoning, if that's the right word, or accepting the other person's behaviour. You know, obviously what they did was wrong, but I'm just accepting that, okay, I went into those relationships because I felt unworthy. I didn't love myself.
bingo.
Yeah.
Piece of gold right there.
Exactly. So you really start to think,
am I being kind to myself? Do I wake up every morning and have gratitude for the breath, my life, the growth, the challenges, the hurdles, the friendships, the food in the cupboard, you know, do I love who I see when I look in the mirror? Do I look after this vessel? You know?
Yeah.
And as we know, when there's a lot of no's, that's when you know there's work to be done here.
Yeah.
There's liberation to be.
And I think the work
attained.
started for me once I started taking responsibility.
Yeah.
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 Very much so.
I love that. So moving forward, just to, because there's so many things I want to talk with you about, and we only have a short space of time, but you're an exceptionally creative being. Your art, your everything, your home is just so creative, and you have a lot of expression. So was that always part of you from a young age?
Yeah.
Because I know you went to art school.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did all that. I know you're a huge David Bowie. I mean, he's your spiritual husband, as we know.
Yeah.
You know, you absolutely idolise him, and he's influenced you a lot, hasn't he?
But that was
But your work, I just want to talk about your bodies of work, because you've done from shoes to, people don't know this about you, and your writing is just incredible. So how has that helped you along your journey?
I tell you what being creative does. To me, it is a form of active meditation, because when you're so engrossed in something, then everything else just falls away. So it's an active meditation. But anything can be an active, cleaning the windows can be an active meditation. It's being mindful in the moment. And when you think the moment is all we have anyway. So even now, it's being fully engaged, fully in this moment that we're
fully
sharing.
present.
Yeah. And that is, that's gold in itself, isn't it?
It certainly is. So I know you've had a lot to do with in Coventry, a lot of projects and community things, and you've had your hand in a lot of wonderful things for the people, and you have been running a women's creative group for many years.
Yeah.
Now, originally you were one of the main key people for Positive Images, and you did loads around. I know because I was in there with you at one point. You pulled me in. I love that. It was such fun. Unfortunately, sadly, Positive Images is kind of just parked at the moment.
Yeah.
But you're still running your groups alongside everything else that you're doing for your ladies. And funding has been a bit, it's very hard to get, hit and miss sometimes. But you're still doing it, practically running it yourself and practically funding it yourself. So if anybody wants to donate to the women's group, because it really is fantastic work. These women, this is like a lifeline for them. It's in the Hillfields still, isn't it?
Well, actually, I've moved it to the Priory Visitors Centre.
In town? Oh, yeah, because that's a community space now, yeah.
It's a very creative space anyway, and I just love the Priory Visitors Centre. It's behind Nando's.
It's a cracking space. So what days are you running it there now? What are you
Wednesday afternoons. I mean, if anybody wants to kind of find out more, just check me out on Facebook or Insta. Yeah. Kate Hills,
Kate Hills FM. Yeah, so you do lots of stuff, and the women have said, haven't they, that they absolutely love it and they love going there and they get so much from it. Just having that bit of time. So, if you are looking to just move into something that's going to help you to...
It's a safe space.
It is.
It is a safe space. And that was what I wanted to encourage. I think because of my own experiences in relationship and realising that as women we can carry a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, and again, I still take responsibility for the part that I played in these relationships. But for me, it was about creating a safe space where women could come, just talk if they wanted to, get a cup of tea if they wanted to, and be creative. Because that is a healing process in itself.
Certainly is.
We don't focus on, this week we're going to focus on something that's, caused trauma or anything like that. But sometimes these things are worked through and create a beautiful piece of artwork from something that was really quite dark.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that. It's beautiful. And this is open to women from all walks of life,
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that you're still doing that. It's wonderful. So, Kate.
Yes.
Survival. We've talked a bit about that, haven't we? So rebirth, Kate, and I know that you have been, because now you're in this beautiful time in your life. Your children are adults.
Yeah.
And you're able to focus and give yourself more time and energy for you. How has that been? What is this chapter looking like, and what pearls of wisdom can you give? What would you say to your 30-year-old self or 25-year-old self, around that time?
Yeah, do you know what? I think the first thing I would say is it's all going to be okay. Don't sweat the small stuff, basically. Because when I think back to when I was younger, I think I compared myself to every every person
And
around
everyone
me.
gets that, don't
And I
they?
think it's worse these days, you know, for women. We can compare ourselves. We look at other people's social media. We think everybody is having such a wonderful time. Can I just say, it's bollocks. It is total bollocks. I'm sorry.
It's so
but
easy to put on like lovely. Do you know,
Yeah.
I had that recently, Kate, because I love creating content and little videos and you know, and it's like I'm inspiring. You know, I've come through my
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and I'm still working through things. You know, but recognising my own journey and that with my body, you know, we talked about a bit about body dysmorphia earlier, didn't we? Everyone's got it to a degree. Mine was horrendous. Now, people that have always known me go, really? Never knew that about you. Never. Oh, there's lots. There was
Yeah,
lots there. Yeah, it was pretty deep cutting, really. But now it is about more loving and honouring and respecting myself. I'm still cleaning a few things out, you know, but some of the pictures, like I want to present it in a way that look good in a way. But actually, do you know what? I went to put something on yesterday, and I looked at it and I've got, do you know what? No, because that is going to make someone feel shit about themselves. Actually, so let's have a little rethink exactly what your. There's been a big shift there. Exactly what you're portraying yourself as, Sarah, because yes, you want to inspire people, motivate them, tell your story. No, there's more here, because people don't want to see your perfection, because we're not perfect. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. Fucking far from it. We want real, because real is what
Authentic.
gets. You were saying earlier, I ain't
Yeah.
got time for people who are masked up.
Yeah.
You understand where they're at, but when people are actually, you know,
I
so inauthentic.
Yeah, I mean,
Spiritual community. That was so funny, that moment. Not knocking anyone. It's just we have to laugh at these things, because in all walks of life,
there's
the
fakery.
fakery.
And another F word as well. Fuckery as well. I'm sorry.
Just make sure you're not one of them. Be true to who you are, and sometimes that can feel a bit lonely. I felt a bit isolated and lonely at times. Like no one's really. I'm shedding this crap and these illusions and these perceptions and these things that I think I'm supposed to be or I should
Do you
be.
find you spend more time on your own?
100%.
And isn't that nice?
And we were talking earlier. I'm in this beautiful relationship, right, of growth and everything. It's not perfect. We have our little moments, like, but there is respect in there. We do not shout. We do not abuse. We do not. It is real communication, you know, and love. So much love. However, we like our space. He needs his, I need mine. It's like suddenly space has become something that is like gold. It's food, it's medicine, it's necessary, you know. I don't know about you, but when I think back to the amount of pots I used to pour into, energetically wise, and overserve and overgive, and how much I had for myself, was ridiculous.
But that's distraction, Sarah, isn't it?
100%.
It
Anyone
is
out there doing
distraction.
that? Stop. Please stop.
The thing, we distract ourselves in so many different ways. You know, I mean, like, for example, Sunday, I knew I'd got a treatment coming up on Monday, and I really needed to sit with myself. I really needed to set the intention of what I wanted to release as part of this treatment.
Well, you went and did a beautiful drumming.
And it was powerful. But did I sit with myself? I decided that my little bungalow needed cleaning. You know, I'm
going to sit here. I can clean.
Yeah, let's wash the floors, let's do the hoovering, let's change the sheets, you know. And I did all of that to the point that, actually that was Saturday. On the Sunday, I woke up with a blinding headache, and it was like, no, you're sitting with yourself. You've got a headache. You ain't moving out of this bed until you have actually gone within and you recognise what it is you want to shift.
Yeah.
And I had to do it.
Yeah.
So come Monday and that beautiful shamanic drum journey that I was taken on.
Who did you do that with? The lady's name?
Stacey.
Stacey. Is she Coventry?
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stacey.
She so yeah, it was interesting because, you know, let's face it, right? You and I know if you're not facing up to your stuff, the universe, source, God, Buddha, whatever you want to call it, that all-encompassing loving energy, even your higher self, if you want to call it that, is going to tell you, hang on a minute, you think you've done the work? Come on.
Oh gosh. It just reminds me so many times I've gone, do you know, I've done so much work on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we are in the school of life.
Yeah.
And when when you've got to a place, I've worked through that, I've done really well, I feel so much lighter, in comes the next. Continual growth. So hold on to your knicker elastic, people. Once you embark on growth and transformation and healing, it's a consistent.
But there's a beauty in that, though, Sarah, isn't there?
Surrender to it.
Yeah.
Fall in love with it. It's all okay. Relax. Get in the canoe and go down the river of life. Or else it's going to be rapid.
It ain't about going upstream. It's about going with the flow downstream, innit?
And that in itself takes... you have to learn how to do that. You have to learn how to...
But it's also the fact that you're here now, and we said this earlier on, you're here now, you're living, you're breathing, means that you are meant to be here.
Yes. Yes.
You know, you are the gift in this life, and you're meant to be here. And no matter what you've been through in your past, you are here right now, which tells you you are always going to be okay. Yeah. You are safe, and it's safe to release and let go. I mean, I'm 64 in January.
Darling,
do you know what I mean? I'm doing the work, babe. Let me tell you.
I know
it's
you
like,
are.
I just, yeah. It ain't about, you know, no Mickey Mouse bloody stuff. It's about I'm doing the work.
Yeah, I know, and this is it, and it's never just one thing, is it? You have to kind of each layer is like shedding. It's like peeling an onion, isn't it? You got to start somewhere, but then it progresses. And I know that you work with the beautiful medicine of Cambo, and you've been working with intent with that over the last few years. So that's been helping you. But it's not like, and we said this earlier, didn't we? People think, right, you know, got to go and heal and work and go get counselling and get therapists and do this and do this and do this, and it's going to happen. Give myself 6 months, I'll be all right. No, be patient. Let yourself unravel.
I know you've done a lot of...
everything.
Well, we call it medicine, but, you know, we're not talking pharmaceuticals here. But it is medicine because it's a form of healing.
Oh, deep form.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that for quite a lot of people that I know of, it has become a natural progression. When I was called to do the grandmother medicine back in, 2017, 18. Before then, it was, you know, doing the healing. I worked with Jerry Sargent. I mean, he's worldwide now. And I remember that man back in the day when he started doing his healing courses. And he said, I am going to create an army of light workers and healers all around the world. And he has done that.
Yeah.
He's international now.
Yeah.
Right, Jerry Sargent. He was on, I love old Jezza. He was on Forbes magazine cover earlier. He's very good business-wise, but my goodness me, I've not come across anyone yet, as of yet, who can do what he does and train the way he trains people. The stuff he pulled out of me, it was on another level. That's a totally different podcast. But yeah, an evolution, and I feel like it just depends where do you want to get to? How much do you want to, what are you willing to work through? What are you willing to face?
But like we
what
said,
do you want to transform, you know?
Like we said earlier, it's setting the intention as well, you know, and allowing yourself to feel a bit vulnerable. You know, I want to mention Cambo Rebirth. I've done Cambo 7 times, and I just think everybody should do Cambo because
she's
it's
doing
like
amazing, isn't she? I mean, you know, your kids, but she's just done.
She is amazing. Big shout out to Sadie.
Sadie, Cambo Rebirth, check her out.
Yeah. And, you know, I see Cambo as being very gentle, but also very powerful.
I didn't find it gentle.
Well, I know.
Not the first time I did it, let's face it. It was interesting. It's not easy. However, it's definitely, like you say, powerful.
But it's after, isn't it? All right, you purge, you know.
Yeah.
And some people might not find that very pleasant.
But you got to get over it.
But I welcome it.
Yeah.
You know, each time I've done Cambo, I've welcomed it and I've set the intention of what I feel needs to be released. To the point that back in April, I set the intention because I've self-soothed a lot over the years with tobacco,
as we
and
millions do. Yeah.
Weed was a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
It's massively common.
So I set the intention. It was like, okay, Cambo, you know, I'm coming into ceremony again. You know, what do I need to release? And I think there was a part of me that knew what needed to be released. It was like, no more self-soothing. You know, you've got to do this. You want change. You've got to do this. Yeah. And I knew by doing Cambo that there wasn't going to be that, because of the way Cambo works in your body, I knew there wasn't going to be that physical addiction to the tobacco. So I remember after doing Cambo in April, and I thought, okay, don't feel like I want to smoke. I had a couple of days of, you know, I'd sit there with a cup of tea and think, oh, I'll have a smoke. Oh, no, I don't do that anymore. And after a couple of days, that just completely went. So I've done Cambo since then, and that was the first time I'd done Cambo without then going back to self-soothe with tobacco and weed. And it's been powerful. It's been really powerful. So, yeah, I'm still on this journey. I don't think I'll ever get off it.
And just to recap over that with addictions, I mean, it's prevalent. It's like an epidemic at the moment. We touched on it before, especially with Jeff, and I had but you know, a lot of people are doing cocaine, MDMA. Weed is like a second nature thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So Cambo and the medicines, if you do, I mean, I'm not advocating. I don't suggest people just run out there and go and do ayahuasca or just Cambo, because you have to respect that you are embarking on something that is going to bring you the healing, but you got to do the work. You got to work through it with intention. You got to respect it. You've got to do the detox. There's a lot of things to do pre and after.
Yeah.
But with addictions, it just works. It just sort of how you get to,
because
release a lot.
Addiction isn't a cause. There is a deeper reason why you are addicted to something.
Yeah.
Even if it's shopping, if it's sex, there's an underlying reason.
It's feeding something in us.
It is. Yeah.
That is a void of.
It's lack of self-love at the end of the day,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's a void.
Because everything boils down to love. So, yeah, we self-soothe in so many different ways.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just
a natural thing to do, isn't it?
It is, and it's actively encouraging from lots of areas in society. I was talking briefly about
alcohol being a big thing.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
you know, look at the adverts on telly for that. It's far from it. I've never see that.
That's another thing I've stopped.
Advert, they're all dancing. Has it stopped? I don't know, because I've not had a telly for 5 years. I don't watch it.
No, what I'm saying is I again don't drink. In fact, the other day I thought, oh, Christmas, mulled wine. I felt so squiffy, and I thought, no, I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like
that naturally happens. And this is the thing as well, you know, when you start cleaning things out emotionally, your body responds. It's because they're twins, they're in union. So emotionally, when you start releasing things, your body can then start resculpting and resetting. And, you know, essentially things like, you know, the alcohols and the drugs and all that sort of thing, they just start to become less and less appealing.
yeah,
You wake up feeling really, really crap, you know. So, yeah, that is definitely it. I mean, I had it just recently with somebody that's been working with my partner, and he mentors and works with men mainly. And the guy that he's been working with best part of the year has come and said, what have you done to me? It's like, not what we've done. It's like, I don't want this anymore. I don't do that anymore. I'm actually feeling joy. I'm actually, you know, I can hug people now. You know, it's a whole evolution of unraveling. And it's like opening.
yeah.
You are a gift, you know, but open yourself up and see what you are, what's inside. It's all beautiful.
There's two things that I think are paramount in the healing process as well. Obviously, there's the things that we do, the treatments we might go for, the kind of whether it's Aya or Cambo and that kind of stuff. But I think things that you can do for yourself, journaling has always been a big thing for me. That was since doing Jeff's writing course. I write every single day.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes morning and evening.
That's
great. You know, and meditation is a big thing. I make sure now that I meditate, especially before going to bed, and sending myself love, because it's recognising that actually I am divine love, you know. So I will say, like, you know, I'm opening my heart to the divine love that I am. And that is a big thing. It's recognising we ain't here by accident. Let's face it, you know, we are the gift. So, yeah.
100%. So, and you're absolutely right. There are so many things that you can practice and embark on, and create a lovely foundation for yourself simply through, as we know, writing is so powerful. You don't have to go down the route of, you know, doing like what Jeff does, but I highly recommend it because it's so cathartic, isn't it? But things like, you know, just spending some time just to be in a meditation. If you find it hard to focus, there's so many online that are free. I've been doing, my partner and I, he's got me into Joe Dispenza a lot. So I've been listening to a lot of Joe. He's going over next year to do his course, and he's, incredible. There's just so many, a variety, and just go for what feels right, resonating with you at that time. A bit of nature, alone time.
But picking up on
what
you said, you know, when you're writing, what about writing down just the things you got to be grateful for?
Oh, that's powerful.
Gratitude is so very powerful.
Gratitude is the attitude, dear.
It is, because, you know, if you're not grateful for what you've already got, the universe can't gift you more, can it?
No.
So
no, and it really is the attitude, because just from my own experience and just seeing looking at where some people that I know are, and their attitude is so taking and grateful, they just can't seem to get past they're so stuck with what they're carrying. There's no room for any light to get in at the moment, and if you can't wake, it's really important. I'm not knocking anyone. I get it. This is what happens. This is an outcome of when you're not working on yourself. But like you say, when you do wake up in the morning, and Wayne Dyer taught me this: wake up and say thank you. You feel instantly set for the day.
yeah,
Ready. I open my curtains. You know, it's just shift your, how you speak. You speak, how you speak, and what you say about yourself and others is so powerful. Vibration, it's frequency,
Yeah.
So mirror work. I love mirror work. I
That
love
can
it,
be
love it.
hard, but it is, very powerful.
I
Yeah,
love.
very
My fella was
powerful.
laughing the other week at me, honestly. So he come through the back door. He could parked about the back because it was all busy at the front of the house for parking. And I'd gone round. I'd been back in. And there's a mirror in my hallway. I have to dance. I put the tunes on. I was, and I was like giving it. And then I turned my hair, flung my hair around. There he is at the back door going. I was like, hi, come in. I was like, just doing some mirror work, darling. He goes, you were loving yourself. I said, absolutely, 100%. I highly recommend that. Dance, movement, breathe. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Someone cuts you up. Try saying thank you, blessings, instead of bleep, 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 bleep.
Yeah.
Just those little things. It's great places to start, isn't it? It just can give you big shifts. Simple but effective.
But through what I've learned through doing hypnotherapy, because that's another string to my bow, it takes, they used to say 40 days to create new neuro pathways, because there's a lot of stuff out there now about neuroplasticity, say it right, which means we can create new neuro pathways in the brain. So the more you focus on gratitude, you are actually rewiring your brain to focus more on those kind of outcomes rather on the things that you don't want to see, like the bills coming through the door, just getting up feeling tired in the morning, So they actually say now that it takes 21 days. So for 21 days, if you were to write down 3 things every day that you were grateful for, and you said that over 21 days, that becomes a new neuro pathway.
Thank Kate later. But it is true, and you're 100% right, and it is scientifically proven, because sometimes a lot of people need scientific evidence, don't they? But that's always been there. That's always been a thing. That's always been in very much part of the sacred practices and, all that side of things. But, yeah, I love that. Are you still offering hypnotherapy for anyone that's interested? Hook Kate up. Or give her a call. Like you say, she's on Instagram, Facebook. I love that. I love hypnotherapy. I did a level 1 years and years ago, and we had a bit of fun with it. But yeah, it's very powerful, very powerful. Again, it's another thing, another tool, another practice therapy.
Some people don't like the word hypnotherapy, so another way to look at it is it's eyes closed, deep relaxation. Because that's what I'm doing for somebody. I'm using my voice, talking them through like a guided meditation that is going to make them feel relaxed.
Takes them to a state, an altered state, that in-between state, isn't it? Is it? What is that? Theta, beta?
Oh,
I can't remember which ones.
I know.
Sorry.
But it just, when you're in a more relaxed state, your subconscious mind is more open to the positive suggestions, and that's all it is. Nobody can be hypnotised if they don't want to be.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not a stage hypnotherapist, and neither would I want to be, because to me that just abuses the whole hypnotherapy thing. It gives people a totally false idea of what it is. I ain't gonna make people run around like a bloody chicken. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
I ain't about that. I ain't about that at all.
Oh, so funny. I love that. Oh gosh. Yeah. So, but it does work. Like, so I had some recently actually with a good friend of mine. He does a lot. He works a lot with children. David Kilmurray. He's got an interesting life story as well. He does a lot specialises a lot more now. He works down in London at Harley Street with the adults, but in Coventry he does eating issues and stuff. It's so funny. But he is a magician as well. He's like a kids entertainer, and he incorporates all that, and he did it for me. I felt like a child. I loved every minute of it. He made a table float. He did like this like fire thing, and he's just so funny. It was so entertaining. I loved that. But he didn't make me run around like a chicken. It wasn't like that. But it was fun.
Yeah.
But after my session, more importantly, I felt such a big shift. Such a big shift. But like you say, it's with anything. If you go in with a strong intention, I want to let go of ABC.
Yeah.
I would like to feel this.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. And it happens every single time. I walked out there like, I can breathe. How much pressure I've been putting on myself, to build and grow. Yeah. It's like, chill out, Sarah, breathe. And I'd let something go. It transpired. It was something from my childhood. Mm-hmm. So with the journey of, like you say, it's constantly on it. Sometimes you can go back and forth with things. And that needs just a little bit more out, go back. Now this, and it's not linear. No. It's never one straight line.
No.
I think my healing journey is, so let's just say, for example, okay, here's my childhood. There's baby Sarah, and then all the way up here to where she is now. So my healing journey's been like, like this, just like a pinball. So, oh, wow, okay, fair enough, go with it.
Yeah.
That's so interesting, but... Yeah, so if you're interested in hypnotherapy from the beautiful velvet tones of Miss Kate, yeah, give her a contact. So where is Kate now? What is she?
Embracing the crone phase.
Crone?
Yeah.
You're not a crone.
Yeah. People view
I know
that
what
word,
you mean. I know what you mean.
They view that word as, crone being the same as if you were, the
like
word
small
hag,
witch. Yeah, it's
or,
not.
it ain't nothing like that.
No.
There's 3
it's
phases.
The wise goddess.
Yeah, 3 phases of woman, which is the maiden, mother, and crone. The crone phase is when you've reached a point of your life that you are, all that wisdom that you've learned is there. It's there. And I really feel like it's like a rebirth almost. Because I've gone through the maiden, I've gone through the motherhood, and now, like you said earlier on, this time is for me. It's about enjoying my life, being authentic, doing what gives me joy, focusing on the bliss, being present in the moment, and just really welcoming everything that life has to offer. And I think that's a magical place to be.
That is the best place to be. So for those of you younglings, for you younglings, keep going. Keep going, keep moving forward, keep growing. Do the work on yourselves, because, there is definitely a place to that you can reach.
Yeah.
That's within you.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful. It's
is.
wonderful, isn't it? And it's real, and it exists. But you got to want it. You got to work for it. You got to do a bit of work, But that's okay.
But there's a beauty in that. There is a real beauty in that.
So, ladies, if you're going through relationship issues, if you're struggling with being a parent, and men as well, all these things, look, know that you are part of the school of life. These are things that are being shown to you for you to look at. It's always about looking at ourselves, learn from. This is, there's no growth in comfort. I say that a lot, but it's true. Thank you, Jeff Thompson. And one day you will give thanks for everything, all your hardships, all your challenges.
And it's recognising as well, I think, that we are programmed from society, from media, that we have to be a certain way. Throw that rule book away. It doesn't serve you at all.
Be you.
Be
authentic.
your authentic self.
And another thing that we touched on earlier when we were speaking is about, please don't be hard on yourself. I've done it, you've done it. I mean, I might as well just walked around with a bull whip on my back, because it was constantly like, you're not enough, Sarah. Your voice don't matter. People don't want to hear what you got to say. You don't deserve love. You're not worthy. You're a shit mum. You're this, you're that.
Yeah.
Every voice, sit with those voices. Sit with those voices, because they are your teachers. They're just the places that need your light.
A lot of the time, those things that we say about ourselves are actually what other people have said to us. They're not our true essence.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. So if you are struggling with any of your dark internal voices, don't be afraid of them. They're just your shadows, and they're in the shadow because they're hiding, because they're afraid to.
And they want to be loved too.
You just got to pour love into it. So things like hypnotherapy, mirror work, nature, breath work, gratitude, eating well, do some exercise, just making all these lovely little changes, and sitting in meditation and breathing, and just, work through and navigate through those shadows. And if you get a pull and a call to do even deeper soul work, and that may be with, a medicine, find someone who is an authentic practitioner.
Oh, definitely.
'Cause it's very important that you feel safe.
Yes.
And this person has done that. Ask them their story. That's how you'll know. Ask them their story, what they've done. You will feel it, like you say. You'll feel it in your gut. You'll feel if it's right. And, you'll get a deeper sense of knowing. And then work with that. But, it's the world and life is so precious and beautiful. And we're only here for a time. So embrace it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So just upon finishing up, any pearls of wisdom, anything that you would like to share with any of your listeners today? Well, it's a question, isn't it? Just drop it on you.
I think never compare yourself to other people. There's an Oscar Wilde quote which says something about being yourself because everyone else is taken. And I love that.
Absolutely. We love quotes. And we're talking about things like that, like I mentioned to you earlier about Tony Robbins. I love Tony Robbins. I love that man. He was speaking to a young man who wasn't in a good place in himself, and he, points out, distracts him. But is it your red shoes? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, is it your red shoes that make you feel so like depressed and suicidal? And he's like smiled, and because everyone's then laughing, Yeah. And he's like, oh, don't be laughing now, don't be smiling, because you might actually want to stay here for a bit longer. You start doing that.
Yeah.
But the one thing he said, and do you know what? I've heard it so many times because I re-listen to things often, and I always hear something new. Was people overestimate what they can do in a year, but they completely underestimate what they can achieve in 5. So give yourself time, breathe, keep doing the work, keep putting in and going for whatever it is that you want in life, whether you want to go for a dream, there's a project, there's a new career, there's this. It's always internal, kind of the relationship with yourself first and foremost is key. Yeah, so they overestimate what they can do in 12 months, a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 5. Love that. So on that note, thank you so much, Miss Kate.
You're very welcome.
I really
thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's been lovely to see you.
You likewise. deeply grateful for you coming on today and waiting in the bloody horrible, it was awful, cold rain, and the gates weren't open. There was a whole thing, but Tony made everything okay with a nice cup of tea and a bit of food, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Taylor and Hannah making us so welcome here at 22 Production Studio. But thank you.
You're welcome.
We're coming up to Christmas, aren't we? So have a blessed Christmas, everyone. I think I've got one more podcast before, but yeah. But thank you again, my darling. Hang on, I'm just going to do this.